Joining me now is Tennessee Congressman Steve Cohen, a member of the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, thanks for being here this morning. First, your thoughts on the ongoing war with Israel and Hamas.
It's a sad thing. One of my earlier memories that I had in a crystallized fashion was the 1967 Israel War. And I guess I've known and reflected on all from the Yom Kippur War on, and that they're still going on is dreadful. But Hamas is intent on destroying the state of Israel, not having a homeland for the Jewish people, and killing all Jews. So with that type of mentality, and what they did last week, there's need for this action against Hamas. With all concern, needs to be extended toward the Palestinian people who have been also victims of Hamas, who have spent more of their money on military and tunnels and weaponry than on good opportunities for their citizens in humanitarian manners, and who use citizens as human shields. Hamas is bad for Palestine. Hamas is bad for Israel.
Congressman, I understand that you've been helping bring a church group from Memphis, Tennessee, back home that's been stranded in Israel. What's the latest you can tell us about those efforts? It's not just them. There's a number of Americans that have found themselves in Israel that are obviously having a difficult time trying to get back to the States.
The group from St. Patrick's here in Memphis has made their way to Jordan, and by now they may be back in the United States, but they've made their way out of Israel to safety, and they will be home, if not now, very soon.
What about the balance of the American citizens that we're hearing about from the State Department who are currently having a few options, albeit very limited ones, and in terms of very brief windows of opportunity to leave? We know that there's going to be some type of boat transport from Haifa to Cyprus on Monday. And then there's currently still negotiations between Egypt, Israel, and the United States. They're still tentative in terms of an agreement to allow Americans on the southern port of Gaza to be able to get to that Rafah crossing to enter into Egypt with safe passage. I mean, it's got to be difficult to be able to try to help to guarantee the safety of these Americans so that they can get out of Israel, Gaza, as well as any other location right now.
We had a briefing in Congress, I think it was on Wednesday morning, and the State Department assured us that they would have announced on Thursday, which I believe they did, there are charter flights and other means to get Americans out of Israel and also Gaza. So they're working on it. It's difficult. And in Gaza, there's the need to work with the Egyptians. And that's where Secretary Blinken is right now, doing the best job I think we've seen an American diplomat do in the Middle East since Philip Abiy. He's been everywhere. He's trying to get things done. The Egyptians need to help. The Egyptians have not helped the Palestinians in the past, nor have really had the Saudis, and not so much the Jordanians. I mean, there's a lot of wealth in Saudi Arabia. MDS has more wealth than, I guess, Bezos and Buffett put together, maybe. But he's not doing a lot for the Palestinians, nor has he, nor have the Jordanians. And King Hussein does a lot of good things, but he hasn't either. The Arab world needs to come together with Israel when this war is concluded to do things to make Gaza a land where children have opportunity, where everybody has an opportunity for a job, and where it's a 21st century country.
And Congressman, let's talk about trying to get aid not only to Israel, but other countries like Ukraine. Here at home, you don't have a speaker in that House of Representatives. I know that there's possibly going to be on Tuesday some kind of vote to see if Jim Jordan becomes the Speaker of the House. Do you actually think that's going to happen, sir, or do you think this is just going to be more chaos from the GOP?
Well, I was hoping to get home on Friday afternoon for engagements I had planned in Memphis, and I canceled 2 flights to stay there to work with our caucus and show our unity for Hakeem Jeffries, who would be a great leader and is a great leader. They didn't get their act together. I don't know if they'll get their act together on Tuesday or not. I don't think the votes will be there for Jim Jordan. I understand he's gotten a lot of right-wing action groups involved in calling Congress people and threatening them with primary opponents if they don't support it. Jim Jordan would not be good for the Congress. Jim Jordan would not be good for America. He really has an extreme right-wing fascist attitudes about government. He was involved in the overthrow on January 6th. He did not respond to a subpoena from the Congress, from the January 6th committee. And there are issues in his past concerning the security and the safety of students under his aegis that is disturbing and will be part of a television, a movie that's going to come out. I think George Clooney's producing it this fall. It's fact. It's been talked about by Republicans, and they're concerned about that being something of a besmirch to their speaker.
Congressman Steve Cohen, always bringing the truth. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here.